So again, for everyone who's joining the webinar today, if you could just mute yourself once you get logged in. We want to make sure we minimize the background noise that we have so everyone can hear what's going on. Really quickly, we'll do some introductions and then we'll jump into everything. So I am Sydney Henderson. I sit in the Greensboro, North Carolina office, and I am the lead for the Tour de Tanglewood event. And joining me today is Cole Eddings, who is helping us out with Tanglewood this year. She sits in the Raleigh office and works on New Bern as well. And then next to her is Travis Bean, who is the owner of the Clemens Bicycle Shop in Clemens, North Carolina. So thank you guys for joining today. If you guys want, you're welcome to hop off camera until we pass it over to your sections, and I will start us off. All right, so just a quick overview of what we're going to be going over today. So we're going to chat about New Bern. I know a lot of folks are very familiar with that ride of ours and know that it's been canceled, so we'll give some information about that. We're going to talk through packet pickup and packet content, the schedule of events for Tanglewood's Ride Weekend, what's new this year. We'll go through the event site map, our packing list, some fundraising tips and other information, and then of course road safety, because that is our top priority at Bike MS. So Cole, if you want to come up.
Hi everybody, I'm so happy to be here today and talk to my lovely Tour to Tanglewood participants. We're going to take a second and we're going to talk about the impact of Hurricane Dorian and also the impact of Hurricane Florence that happened in 2018. So first and foremost, we are spreading the hashtag #NewBernStrong. This community has supported Bike MS for the past 20 years. And we are so grateful for everything that they've done. And we were very excited to come back down to New Bern and give them the love and support that they need. We had a bunch of plans in place for the 2019 event. But as you guys know, Hurricane Dorian did come in, and due to weather concerns, safety concerns for our participants, and emergency support, we had to cancel the event. But thankfully, you guys have all been invited to the Tour to Tanglewood. At this moment in time, we've had more than 160 people transferred to Tanglewood and over 16 teams. I also wanted to remind everybody that we are going to be back and better than ever in 2020. We are so excited to see you guys again, and we are so grateful for all the New Bern people who have decided to come and join us at Tanglewood this year.
Awesome. Thank you, Cole.
Thank you.
So just as an additional piece of information for that, so most of you probably have heard about the transfers already. Some of you might even be transfers from New Bern joining us today, so welcome. But just a quick reiteration of that. Anyone who was participating in New Bern and wants to transfer to either Tanglewood or a remaining Bike MS event in 2020, we are happy to transfer you over. Just reach out to us and we'll get that settled for you on the back end. Do not do that yourself. We want to make sure that you are exempt from paying the registration fees or fundraising minimums that are associated with those other events as well.
Thank you, Sid.
Of course. So moving us forward, we have packet pickups. Last night was our very first one for Tour de Tanglewood, and it was for our top fundraisers in our Club K, who have raised $1,000 or more at Pryor Brewing Company. It was really great to see some friendly faces out there and just really get things going. It's an exciting time being in Bike MS season. So first one went great, and we've got a couple more coming up next week. So you can come to Unknown Brewing Company in Charlotte on Tuesday, the September 17th. And then Wednesday, we'll have one all day in the office here in Greensboro. And Thursday, we'll have one at Cycles de Oro in Greensboro as well in the afternoon. So there are 3 opportunities before Ride Week that you can pick up your packet. And we are traveling to make sure we can get to everyone. And then the event weekend packet pickups will be Friday night as we're getting set up for the ride. And then, of course, Saturday morning at the ride. And I kind of wanted to run through very quickly with you guys the packet contents. A lot of you guys are veteran riders, but some of you are what we call rookies or first-time participants. So you may not be familiar with what's in your packet. This is a kind of guide to what's in there that we're going to put in everyone's packet this year, so you'll have that with you once you pick it up. But I also have some samples here with me. So first things first is your ride bib. This will be on your back. You will have safety pins in your packet to attach it to your jersey. And on the back side of that is emergency contact information. So we do ask that everyone fills that out before they pin it on their jersey for Ride Weekend. We also have these tags that match the same number as your bib. They are going to be wrapped around the bar of your bicycle. We also have helmet tags, so you can just have everything matching. And then we've got these nice vinyl clasped wristbands this year that will also have your bib number on there. That way we can just keep everything together. That'll be your entry for beer and food and all that jazz throughout the weekend. So just make sure that you keep up with everything. And if you need more safety pins or anything like that, we will have those on site for you. So the next thing I wanted to chat about is the schedule of events. Everyone wants to know what's going on and when and where. So the first big day of Bike and Mess is going to be Friday the 27th, of course. From noon to 8 p.m. we'll have set up for team tents in the park. So you're welcome to coordinate with your team volunteers and other team members to bring out all your swag and your decorations and set up your canopy tents if you have a pop-up tent like that. We'll have staff on site throughout the day that you can, reach out to us for questions or assistance. And then we'll have packet pickup that afternoon from 5 to 7:30. And during that time, we'll also have music, and teams will be having meals and tailgating at their tents. We'll have a Club K reception for our top fundraisers in the Club K tent. And then we'll also have rider orientations every hour on the hour starting around 6 o'clock, just to make sure anyone who's a new participant or just needs a refresher can get the information that they need as they prepare for the next day. So then Saturday, the big day, first day of Bike MS. Parking will open at 6 a.m. We'll have volunteers on site, and we'll have some professional folks to guide us into our parking spots that day. If you elect to use the shuttles that we'll shuttle you from your hotel or campground over to Tanglewood Park at 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. pickup times, so you can be there for the start line. We'll have breakfast for the general group of participants from 6 to 9. And then Club K gets a special VIP breakfast that is provided by the Chick-fil-A of Clemens from 6:30 to 8:30. During that time, we'll also have packet pickup for anyone that just shows up the day of and still needs their gear. And then the official start time this year is going to be at 8 a.m.
Conference call.
Hi, it sounds like we've got some feedback. If you guys are joining us right now, if you could just mute yourselves, that would be awesome. So the official start time is at 8 a.m. All riders will be ride out at this time. For our Century riders, we know it takes a little bit longer to go 100 miles, so we're going to let you guys line up first, and then we'll follow it with our top fundraising teams, and then in waves beyond that. And then all riders must be on the route by 8:30, just so we can keep track of everyone and keep us moving in a timely manner. So then, the good stuff. Starting at 11 a.m., we'll have our Team Village celebration. So as riders are coming back, celebrating with our team members, we'll have lunch, we'll have our vendor expo, we'll have live music starting later that afternoon, and a DJ throughout the day. And then, of course, we'll start our hourly shuttles to return you back to your campground or your hotel from the park as well. Something that I wanted to call out is our Saturday awards program. As you know, every year we have a handful of awards that we give out on site, so make sure to mark this time down. Tell your team members to stick around or come back for it. We want everyone to be there to celebrate with us and see who's going to win what. We want to see who's going to win that best team tent decoration for our corporate team and friends and family, who's going to have the best jersey, and all of that good stuff. So I hope to see all of you guys there. And then, of course, we're going to have the route shut down at 5 o'clock, and we'll have dinner by Salsaritas, and the live music will start back up after that awards program. And then we'll kind of shut everything down around 8 o'clock, get some rest, and then we'll get ready for day 2. So day 2, very similar to day 1, we'll have the shuttles bringing you over to Tanglewood Park from your hotel or your campground to get you ready for the start line. We'll have breakfast again. Club K breakfast will be provided by Biscuitville on day 2. The official start time is going to be the same. It'll be 8 a.m., but Sunday is a little bit of a slower day. It takes us a little bit longer to get in gear, so we're going to have all riders en route by 9. And then back at the park for Team Village Celebration Round 2, we'll have lunch by Salsaritas. We'll have the hourly shuttles, and of course the Team Village is going to shut down around 6, and we'll get the route shut down about 5 o'clock. So a couple of things that I just mentioned that might have kind of binged in your mind that sound a little bit new this year. The start line time, it is a little bit new. We typically have 2 to 3 start times for our different route participants. I've heard some feedback from participants that they want a bigger start time and excitement around it. And we want to make sure that we can keep track of our cyclists as well. So we're starting everyone at the same time this year. Again, our Century riders will get to roll out first. They'll get to line up in front of everyone so they can get out on the road and get going on their 100 miles. And then it'll be followed by the top 3 fundraising teams, and then we'll break everyone else off in waves. The next thing is the camping on site in Tanglewood Park. Unfortunately, we are not able to camp in Tanglewood Park this year. That was very upsetting for us, and I know for a lot of you guys who really enjoyed camping out there, but we're not allowed to do that this year. So we do have some off-site options listed on our website under the Lodging and Transportation tab. If you want to take a look there, you can book some reservations. We tried to find the ones that had the most reasonable prices that seemed to work with us. So you'll have to book those accommodations on your own, but anything that is listed on the website for hotels or campgrounds, we will provide shuttles to and from for ride weekend, which is my third point there about the shuttle. So going a little bit more into that, our shuttle service schedule, we will have it both Saturday and Sunday, again from 6 to 7 a.m. There'll be pickups at both of those times from all of the locations that we have listed on our website, hotels and campgrounds. And then for the afternoon Saturday from 2 to 8 p.m. we'll have a shuttle depart from Tanglewood every hour on the hour to go to these locations. Ideally, we're going to have one shuttle specified for each location to keep it moving quickly. And Sunday, very similar, just a little bit different on the timing for the return shuttles. So from 2 to 4 p.m., we will depart from Tanglewood Park every hour on the hour. And then our Club K and Top 100 shuttle service, you probably saw a handful of golf carts running around the park last year. And we will have a VIP golf cart again this year to help those folks kind of get around the park, get back to their parking spot in the vehicle land off to the side of Team Village. It's a big field and it's hard to get around, so we will provide that 6-passenger golf cart for all of those folks. And then I wanted to share our event map with you all. It looks pretty similar to what we had last year, but I just wanted to kind of walk you through what to expect and what you're going to see. So down here along the bottom, you'll see a road, and that is where our primary start and finish arch is going to be. Along the side of that, we'll have bleachers and tents for our cheerleaders. We'll have a bike shop set up in the morning to get you ready to go. And we'll also have a check-in point with a hydration station as well for all of our riders and especially our Century riders. So if you're a Century rider and you want to get your patch, you can pick it up there. And then just beyond that, there are 2 bridges that will help us get into Team Village and Tanglewood Park. And there's going to be one with an arch over it as a formal entrance. And our friends from True Light will be stationed there giving out medals. So that is where you're going to want to go for your medal. Once you walk in, the first thing you're going to see is our vendor expo. We're really excited about it this year. We've got some good vendors that are going to be out there. Our very own Crossroads cycling company is going to be out there. Nothing But Cakes is going to be out there. We're going to have a bike raffle set up for a Jameis bike you can win, and we'll pull the winner on stage that afternoon at the awards party. There's a robot demo, all kinds of cool things to look out for. And right across from that expo are going to be kind of your check-in and information tables for like headquarters to pick up your packet. We have Kids Zone, volunteer check-in, and then our MS Lounge that will have I Ride with MS swag and also other literature about living with MS or caring for others with MS and those kinds of things. In the center of the park, you'll see a couple of important tents there. One of them being the dining tent. Everyone wants a good hearty meal when they get back from riding throughout the day, so that will be at the dining tent. And next to it, we've added a festival tent this year. We wanted to make sure we had a big communal area for all of our friends from New Bern that were joining us that may or may not have a team tent this year at Tanglewood. So that will be our kind of group dining and hangout section. Next to that, of course, you need to refuel with some water, Gatorade, and most importantly, beer, which will be provided and sponsored by Unknown Brewing Company. And then right beyond that, we have our massage tent. I know everyone likes to get everything worked out after they've been out on the road all day. And then our VIP tent is next to that as well. And throughout the park, you'll see some other things. Up by the stage, we'll have restrooms, our shower truck. Towards the back of the park in the upper right-hand corner, that's where our shuttles will depart from, and there are additional restrooms and recycling areas and that kind of thing. So we will be posting this to our website soon. We just finalized it this week, so be on the lookout for that, and we'll try to share it in one of our upcoming newsletters as well. So we have a 3-day event, 2 days on the road. What do you need to bring with you? Things that are mandatory. You have to have a helmet to be on the route. And of course, you need to have your bike number, your wristband, your rider bib, all of that stuff. We need to know who you are, be able to indicate who you are, keep up with our riders on the route, know who's riding with us and who's not. And it's also very important just to carry an ID with you. You never know when you're going to need one. And some other items that are highly recommended just to keep you prepared and just in case of emergencies, or you never know what you might need. So obviously comfortable cycling gear. You're going to be riding all day long. You want to be comfortable. So shorts, jerseys, socks, gloves, all that jazz. Sunglasses, protect your eyes, of course, cycling shoes, any rain gear. We do ride rain or shine. Of course, if the rain becomes heavy, we won't continue to ride, but you never know. A spare tube or a patch kit, pump, CO2, water bottles, sunscreen, all kinds of things. You never know when you're going to get a flat and need to fix it yourself, so it's best to be prepared. But if you don't have those items, we do have bike shops that are going to be stationed on the route that can help you out in the event of some of these occurrences. And of course, we are here to fundraise as well as have fun. So I just wanted to review some of our benefits for our top fundraisers. For our Club K participants, that has been formally called VIBE. This year, it's been renamed nationally to Club K. So it's our participants that raise $1,000 or more. We have the VIP packet pickup, which was last night at Pryor Brewing Company. You, of course, will get a Halo prize, a 2019 event t-shirt, a Club K custom jersey this year, which I will have to say are pretty cool. There's a VIP tent and team village, which we saw a few minutes ago. Of course, your VIP breakfast on Saturday and Sunday, provided by Chick-fil-A and Biscuitville, respectively, and then a discounted registration in 2020. So I think right now we've got about 150 folks who are in Club K, so I'm looking forward to seeing that number grow. And then we've also got our top 100 folks. So these are the top 100 folks, fundraisers for Bike MS Tour to Tanglewood. So very similar prizes. You'll get VIP packet pickup, Halo prize, the t-shirt, the Club K jersey, except next year you'll get a custom bib that will have your rank number on it and your name, and it's bright yellow. You'll get to take advantage of the VIP tent and team village. You'll, of course, get the VIP breakfast on Saturday and Sunday, and you'll get free registration in 2020. So lots to look forward to as a top 100 fundraiser. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys compete for those top 100 spots. And now I'm going to turn it over to our friend Travis to talk about some safety tips and riding on the road during Bike MS weekend. Travis, if you want to pop up on screen.
All right. Hey, guys. Let me sit back down. I was walking through the shop here. So my name's Travis Bean. I'm with Clemens Bicycle, one of the local shops. I've been fortunate. I've been able to participate with Bike MS for a couple of years now. Always a fun time. Always enjoy doing it. Great weekend. Always raises good money. I think the first thing I'd like to point out is that, this is a ride. It's a charity ride. It's not a race. Even though when you get a lot of folks together, they always want to see who can do it the fastest. But keep in mind, we are doing this as a charity ride. When you're riding, usually the riders are going to form a pace line. A pace line is where you're going to line up in line. You can do it single file or you can do it dual file. So 2 lines or a single line is fine. You want to make sure you keep yourself some distance between each other. Overlapping wheels usually will cause problems, so try not to overlap wheels. Keep enough space so that when someone in front of you slows down, it gives yourself enough space to kind of slow down as well. One of the important things that some folks kind of seem to forget a lot of times is we don't do any type of earbuds or ear devices. Leave your radios at home, leave all your favorite music at home, enjoy the scenery, enjoy talking with others, don't have any earpieces in because that could cause some problems when someone says, points out, a hole in the road, a left or a right turn. So be aware of what's going on. Be aware of your hand signals. Use your left, use your right, but make people know that when you're slowing down, say you're slowing, be very verbal, be loud so people can hear you. Let people know that when you're stopping, so that they don't run into the back of you. A lot of times when there's accidents on a road or in a big group, it's because people don't communicate. You want to be able to talk to each other, let everyone know where you're doing. If there's a right-hand turn coming up, if there's a left-hand turn, if there's a dog getting ready to run out from a yard, make sure you let everyone know what's going on around you and what's coming up. If there's a pothole in the road, be verbal, let people know what's going on. Another thing to think about is when you come to a rest stop, you're going to have, sometimes you'll be by yourself, but sometimes you're in a group. Not everybody wants to stop at the rest stop, but some folks may. So be aware of what people are doing around you. When you come up to a rest stop, make sure you slow down, give yourself enough time to pull in. Don't come racing into the rest stop, because at the rest stop, you got people coming and going. You got some people that are just hanging out, enjoying themselves. So we don't want to cause a crash at our rest stop, so that people know when you're about to turn in as well. Some issues that we've seen in years past is when on some of the shorter routes, we have a mixture of experienced and inexperienced riders that are riding together. So just be aware of those folks. I mean, you could have some folks that are very novice, but you could have some riders that are very experienced, and you don't want to get a different mix in there. And if you do, you want to be aware of who's around you. Make sure they know what's going on. Make sure there, again, no overlapping wheels, and everybody kind of knows what's going on around you. I guess last and least, just remember, it's a charity ride. Have fun with what you're doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Travis. We definitely need those reminders as we get ready for this ride. We want to have fun, but we got to be safe at the same time and be aware of what we've got going on and what we're doing, and keep our eyes open for those on the route that may not be as experienced, so we can help them out as well and make sure that everyone can have the best experience possible. So for all this information that we have shared with you guys so far today, we have emailed out a pre-ride newsletter, or pre-ride guide earlier this week, and we're planning to send it out again. Most of this information is in there, but if you can't find it there, it will be on the bikemstanglewood.org website. You can check our event updates tab for our event guides and schedule events and those kinds of things. Of course, keep an eye out for the safety tabs, the lodging and transportation tab, and also the routes and maps tab if you guys have any questions about things pertaining to that. And keep in mind that our Ride with GPS links are up and live on the website as well, so you can check out the routes there. So just to kind of recap what we've talked about, we've recapped the New Bern cancellation and how that's impacting Tanglewood this year. We're so excited to have so many of those folks able to join us for our ride in a couple of weeks. Packet pickup. Again, keep track of that schedule. Join us next week at one of those, either in Charlotte or in Greensboro. The schedule of events, what's new in 2019, our event map, what to pack and bring with you, what you want to aim for when you're fundraising, and also our road safety tips. So now we're going to open it up to some questions. If you guys have questions, you are welcome to unmute yourself and ask them. And we've got a couple of staff who are on the call that we're all happy to help answer your questions. So we'll turn it over to you guys.
Hi, I have a question. I'm just wondering if someone could talk about the terrain. I'm not from North Carolina, and I don't really know what the route's going to be like. Can anyone give me a little bit of background on that?
Sure. I'll give you a gist of it, and I think Paul from our logistics team is on board, and Travis may be able to help with this one as well. It's a little bit hilly out here, if you don't know that already. The elevation is pretty significantly different than that of the New Bern ride specifically. To give a comparison, depending on which route you choose, there's different elevation, of course, and you can look at our Ride with GPS links that I just referenced on our routes and maps page of the website, and each one will give you a synopsis of the total elevation change as well. Paul, do you have anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, hello, I'm Paul. I'm with the MS Society doing logistics. Specifically, the shorter routes I would consider rolling hills. So be prepared for rolling hills. It's not flat. There are longer routes. The 55-mile and 65-mile have more hills, but they're just rolling hills. And the 100-mile ride does go out viewing Pilot Mountain. So you're actually going up and down some foothills as you look at the mountain and riding. You're not actually riding any mountains. So the 100-mile route has some additional hilly challenges on the longer distances. But all in all, a quick summary is rolling hills.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. I just got a question in the chat box just regarding hydration on site at Tanglewood. So just to quickly kind of recap that one, we'll have a hydration station at the finish area as you come in, and we will also have a tent next to the dining area that will have Gatorade and water available. So you'll be able to fill up your water bottles there in the park before and after the ride and while you're hanging out in Team Village as well. Do we have any other questions? No? Anybody from New Bern that has questions? Any new participants this year that might need some more logistical details?
Hello, this is Vic.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Doing good.
All right, so I'll be coming over from the New Bern ride.
Great.
And I ride with MS participant, so I would just like to know, I'm gonna drive over both days. 'Cause I'm only coming from Raleigh, so it's no big deal. So when can I pick up the I Ride with MS jersey on Saturday? Would that be possible?
Certainly, that is a great question. So again, we'll send out the event site map for Team Village again, so you guys will have a better point of reference. But it will be at the MS Lounge table. So all of our kind of officials MS Society check-in points will be lined up together from our volunteer check-in, our participant check-in, and then that MS Lounge table will have all the swag for you guys there who are riding with MS. That's a great question.
Thank you kindly.
Certainly. Anyone else? Uh-oh.
This is Steve Fox. I got the question.
Yes, sir.
Since there is no camping, is there like a time when the village is going to close? Do you like an official close time?
It'll be around 8 o'clock. That's when we're going to kind of cut off music and get everything kind of wrapped up and packed up, at least from a staff standpoint that evening. And that will be when the last shuttles head out.
Thank you.
Certainly. Got a couple of questions in the chat box over here, it looks like. There should not be, so for anyone who's not staying at the recommended campgrounds or hotels that are on our website, the shuttles will only be provided to those locations just for the capacity and our ability to keep track of them and get folks shuttled at a timely manner. So anyone who's staying at a different location, the question was, will there be a problem driving to the event and getting parking on site? Certainly not. There is a huge field that we do our parking in right across from the Team Village area, and we will have parking attendants out there getting you guys in there as efficiently and quickly as possible and safely as well as you're getting out of your vehicle. So that should not be an issue at all. And then another question about the shuttles. They are not able to transport bikes. That's a really great point to make. We'll just be transporting cyclists back and forth from the park to their lodging or accommodations. With that said, we do have a bike lockup in the park that will be monitored by a security officer on Friday and Saturday night. And our system for folks to pick up their bikes are, we want you to have your bib that you would wear on your jersey with you. And we want to make sure that that matches the tag that you have on your bike, so we can ensure that you're picking up the one that matches your rider number. I also got a question about team photos. Team photo schedule, I believe, is published in that ride newsletter that we emailed out earlier, and we'll send that out again for you guys, but they are from 6:30 to 8 a.m. in the morning. Earlier in the year, we sent out a survey to team captains to select their time. So most of the slots have been filled. There are a few left over, but they will just be first come, first served on site the day of the event. We will not schedule any more leading up to the event. A question about grills in Team Village. Charcoal and propane small grills, are they allowed in Team Village? Paul, I want to say that's a yes, but I'm going to let you help me with that one.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. Small grills are allowed in Team Village, but we must recommend that you only have it for your team and your tent. We can't allow sale of food to other groups. Just if it's going to be for your group and your folks, go ahead and cook there. But we can't have any sales or fundraising for food in the park.
Thank you, Paul. I have a question about support en route. So if you have a mechanical failure during the ride that's beyond your capability of fixing, is there a number we can call or a signal that you can give to help? Yes to all of the above. So we will have rest stops along the route every 10 to 13 or 15 miles. And with that, we'll have bike shops stationed at various rest stops along the route. I think 5 or 6 of them will have a bike shop mechanic on site to help you when you get there. If you are in between rest stops and you have a mechanical issue and you need some support, we will have SAG vehicles, support and gear vehicles that are driving around monitoring the route all day long. They will be notified on each side of the vehicle that says SAG support. When they drive by you, just give them a thumbs down and they'll know to pick you and your bike up and take you to the next rest stop to get that mechanical support you need. And if you don't see someone who is riding around in a SAG vehicle, there is also this emergency support line that is listed on your weekend wristband. So that will be with you at all times and you can call that line as well. Let's see here. Next question in the chat box is, will the fundraising of the New Bern transfers be included with the Tanglewood Riders for event perks? Sammy, if you want to help me with this one, or Cole. So we know we can transfer from New Bern as long as you've raised the minimum for the New Bern ride without paying a registration fee for Tanglewood or raising the additional minimum that we have here. You will be able to take advantage of the Club K perks on site. For example, the Club K tent, the reception, the breakfast. But as far as getting the Club K jersey, I believe you'll get that from the New Bern event. Sammy, do you want to add to that?
You answered it perfectly, but yes, we will honor those Club K perks in Tanglewood with everything mentioned, and you will have the ability to pick up that jersey during Tanglewood weekend if you've not done that already.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see. Tanglewood looks like a big park. It is. Let's see what's going on more specifically within the park where the event is occurring if we choose to maybe ride to the start of the event. So where we are located is very close to the entrance of the park. It's just once you come through, it's to the right. So if you want to ride to the start line, the things that'll be kind of going on, I mean, we can reference the schedule of events again. We'll have, breakfast, getting you ready for the ride with hydration stations. We'll have some music playing. We'll have start line announcements and some announcements leading up to that with information on the routes and the colors of the arrows for the routes for you to be checking out. And then that afternoon, of course, the music and awards party. I don't know if that answers your question entirely, so feel free to respond. I think that was Gary. That did not answer your question.
Sydney,
Yes.
might want to notify for those family members who are coming but not riding, are there things to do in Tanglewood Park? And the answer is absolutely yes. This is a large county park that has everything from a swimming pool to a golf course on it. So many activities. Go to the website for Tanglewood Park and Forsyth County Parks and Recreation and see all the available options for you. I'm not sure about admission pricing for people who are family members and not participating in the rides. There will definitely be some park fees for some activities.
Yep. And then for any family members or friends or just other spectators that want to come hang out in our team village for the event specifically and not just generally in Tanglewood Park, there is no admission fee. But if they would like to have food or beverages throughout the weekend, we will be selling wristbands for access to those areas for $10 per wristband as well. All right, that's all I've got in my chat box. Feel free to send another question if you guys have it, or if you want, you can unmute yourself and ask. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, I have one, Mom. How do you reserve a team tent space?
Yes, so you'll just email me, which I think I got an email from you earlier that I haven't gotten to respond to. You'll just let me know that you're planning to bring your own tent with you, and we will make sure to hold a spot for you. We're going to put out some age stakes, if you will, that will have your team name on it, so you'll know where to set up whenever you get there day of. And just again, that's from noon to 8 p.m. on the 27th, and there will be staff there as well that you can ask if you can't find your spot or if you need any additional assistance with that.
Thank you.
Certainly. And as for renting tents, the deadline has passed for that. However, we work very closely with our tent rental company. So especially for our friends that are joining us from New Bern, we have over 16 teams coming from New Bern. So if you guys need to rent a tent, we are happy to coordinate with our company to see what their flexibility is and what they have available for you guys to rent out as well. So we're happy to do that. Just reach out to myself or Sammy or Cole, and we'll get that going for you. Any other questions?
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for letting us transfer our registrations from the Burn over to Tanglewood. That's just a huge thing for me. So I just wanted to just say thank you to all the organizers for you guys doing the hard work.
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Honestly, I think we would want to say thank you to you guys for being so supportive, so patient and understanding, and also for taking us up on it. We're so excited to have you guys at Tanglewood, and I know the participants that we have at Tanglewood are very excited to have some friends from New Bern join us this year. So we're very, very glad that so many of you are able to make it this other weekend of the month. So
this is Steve. I got one last maybe request. You may want to take like a New Bern picture, like all the people that came over for the ride, either like at the award ceremony or at some point. That might be kind of cool to
I think that's a great suggestion. Yeah, we want you guys to have your moment in the spotlight too, and we want it to feel like your event as much as anything. So we'll have photographers on site throughout the day to take start line photos, finish line photos, team photos, etc. So we will try to get something arranged for our New Bern riders, but especially a group photo. That's a great point to make. And then last question I got here in the chat box is for a recap of the meeting. So we are recording this right now, and when we finish, we are going to be posting it to YouTube, and we will we will send it out via email afterwards. So you will be able to send it to your team members, your friends, and other folks as well. Any last minute questions while we're wrapping up?
This is Rick Cannon in Greenville. I had a question, if you can hear me. I don't know if you can get me or not, but I'm one of the New Bern riders.
Okay.
And do I just pick up my Club K? They don't call it Club K down here. I raised $1,000 last year. There's supposed to be all these things, but since the ride was canceled, I'm not sure that I'll get any. It probably won't work, you know. But am I going to need to pick that up in Raleigh, or would I be able to do any of those things, or does it doesn't make any difference? I mean, I was just wondering.
No, that's a great question, and someone was curious about that as well earlier. So for our top fundraisers, you do get to take advantage of everything we have on site at Tanglewood, which is our Club K tent. We'll have a reception on Friday night, the 27th, and then we'll have VIP breakfast and other snacks and items throughout the day, but on Saturday and Sunday that you can take advantage of. As for the jersey and other kind of tangible items that you you won or qualified for at New Bern, you will be able to pick those up. I believe you can pick that up in the office today, or you can coordinate with Sammy and Cole and having them shipped to you. But we will also have those items from New Bern t-shirts, medals, Club K jerseys at the packet pickup in Charlotte on Tuesday, the 17th, and also on site the weekend of Tanglewood. So there are a few options for having them picked up or shipped to you. Is that helpful?
That's helpful. It sounds, I may have to go to Raleigh anyway, you know, before the Tanglewood event. So I may be able to pick it up at the office in Newbern is what in Raleigh is what they said.
Yep.
But I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you. Pardon?
Are there a lot of hills? Are there a lot of hills on your course?
Yes.
There are a lot of hills.
There aren't mountains. I would just say they're rolling hills, which is the best way Paul put it earlier when he described what they were like. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, that's going to be different from Newbern.
A little bit, but it's all right. You got it. We're here to support you the whole way through. It looks like I got another question in the chat box. You're welcome. It says, what do we do if we have folks who still want to donate? So it depends on if you're with Tanglewood or register with Newbern. For our Newbern participants, we are encouraging you to continue fundraising. We know you've worked hard all year and you have your own goals and your sights set on some prizes. So continue fundraising for Newbern. Same for Tanglewood. If you have donations to turn in, cash and checks, we now ask that you bring them to a packet pickup or with you event weekend to turn in. That way we can just keep track of it, as it will probably not be logged onto your account between now and then if you mail them in. And then our fundraising deadline for Tanglewood, there are 2 this year. The first one is October 28th, and that is to qualify for our Halo prizes. The second one is November 28th, which is to qualify to be in our top 100. We give you an extra 30 days to really put yourself up there and secure your rank. And Sammy, if you want to share the prize deadlines for Newbern really quickly as well.
Yes, would love to. So the prize deadline for Newbern is October 7th, and the top fundraiser ranking deadline is November 7th.
Very similar, just a couple of days apart. So I hope that answers your question, Andy. Okay. All right. Any more questions? No. All right, well, we're going to wrap things up for you guys. We know you're busy. Again, we are recording this and we'll have it posted and sent out to everyone shortly. And if you have any additional questions beyond this that kind of pop in your head later, feel free to reach out to myself, Sammy Ammons, or Cole Eddings, and we will be happy to point you in the right direction. But thank you guys so much for joining us today, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you, guys.